So walk us through, like, how did you get started? Like, this had to be a little scary. You're a doctor, you're figuring out how to, carve out time to do something different, but you don't have the expertise yet. You invest in your first real estate deal, I think back in 2008. Walk us through that.
Right. Well, the first deal that I did in 2008 was just a realtor friend of mine said, you know what, this area is going to really do great after this, this downturn. And this was at the beginning of the downturn, and I had some extra money, and like 40 grand was a lot to me. And so I made a down payment on this home, which was a short sale in Riverside County, just north of San Diego. And I bought so early that it kept going down. And so I freaked out a little bit, like, oh, maybe his advice wasn't so good. So instead of doing what I should have been doing, which was buying more of these houses in that area, I just kind of sat it and forget it. I had good tenants, and I just kind of was like, okay, well, I did it. That's fine. We'll just sit there and watch it. Of course, that home that I bought for, I think, 225 is worth 600 now. So, it would have been great to get 10 or 20 of those. I'd be set right now. But I basically went on with my life. I got married. I had a child. I was just focused on other things, right? And that was when I kind of woke up after saving really hard for 5 years. And I realized, it actually all came to a head when I was in Minnesota riding my bike around a lake with my family for vacation. And it was so like peaceful, and you could just hear the gravel on the bike wheels, and the kids were kind of laughing. And I was like really calm inside. And I was like, oh, what is that feeling? And I was like, that's called contentment. And I realized that was a feeling I did not have enough of. We work so hard. And as doctors, we're trading our time for money. We don't get paid when we're not there, and so there's this disincentive to take time off and do things that we enjoy. And so I became passionate about, I need to get that feeling. And being the practical, literal person that I am, I thought, well, I need to buy a house by a lake. So I'm going to look at Lake Tahoe, and, that didn't work out. And so but it got me on the path. And so I just started like devouring books on real estate, Bigger Pockets, and listening to podcasts. And I picked up Rich Dad Poor Dad, which I had read when I was younger, and just was kind of like fired up about it. My husband thought I was kind of crazy, figured this would pass my, interest, because that happens, regularly. Sometimes it's weird things like fermenting vegetables, and, but this time it was real estate, and it stuck. So, that was like 5 years ago. And once I got the taste for investing in real estate, which I realized I couldn't do actively in San Diego anymore, because I thought I would repeat what I did in 08. And of course, it was much too late by then. And kept looking and looking. And I'm like, I've got to find a way to invest in real estate that I can do. Now, being an active real estate investor, like, buying homes and flipping them, obviously I don't have time for that. And this isn't the market. I didn't want to buy a single family home in Memphis that I don't even know anything about and get fleeced by some property management company. That didn't feel good either. So I started looking at multifamily and syndications. And once I found out what the returns were, first of all, and how profitable it could be in a completely passive role, I was totally hooked. And so that segued into me wanting to get more involved, learning more, joining a coaching program, learning how to be a syndicator, basically, because I always like to learn about what I'm doing.